So what difference does a little bit of TLC and a few small upgrades make to your guitar? That's what I want to find out today. I've got in my hands a Squier Affinity Series Telecaster. You can pick these things up brand spanking new for $600, $650. This one here is fresh out of the box, no setup, no upgrades, no nothing. So I'm going to be recording a few short examples on all three pickup settings. I'm then going to send it back to my friend and guitar repair extraordinaire, Mr. Ramsey Phillips. He's going to do his thing with it, set it up, replace a few parts, namely the pickups, which are going to be MrGlyn's Clearview humbuckers. He's going to send it back to me and I'm going to attempt to play exactly the same thing again, so we can compare and contrast and really hear the difference that a little bit of love and affection can make to a guitar. Let's check it out. So just a few thoughts to kind of round that off. I'll start with the guitar itself. I was shocked, and I think Ramsey was too, at how good that cheap Squire was straight out of the box. I mean, it played great. It was even reasonably well intonated. Action was good. Ramsey rounded off the fret edges and sort of the action and intonation, and it did improve it. But as I say, man, it really did play great out of the box. The pickups themselves, you can hear there's a stark difference between the two. And I see why Glyn builds them as the humbucker for people that don't like humbuckers. Because that's me. For my touch, I've never really gelled with them, but that set felt very natural for my touch, and it felt natural for me to play. You can hear there's a whole lot less bottom end just to start with. And the high end is particularly clear and concise, without being too spiky, because that's a very easy territory to kind of go into. Now, when you go into a guitar store and you pick up a guitar, it might be a really fat sounding thing with some fat sounding pickups, and you think, this is huge, it sounds great. Then you go to rehearsal, you go to your gig, and suddenly you can't hear yourself so well. Suddenly it sounds a little bit woolly. That's where a sort of a more concise frequency range really comes into its own. And if you're a gig will you know that the first thing your sound engineer does to your guitar is shelve off a whole lot of bottom end anyway. So your sound engineer will be thanking you for using these pickups. And for that reason, I do wish in hindsight that I'd recorded some drums and bass, just so I could show you, just so I could demonstrate the difference as to how it sits in a mix, because I know that will sit so much better. They're also, the clear views are quite a lot cooler than your average humbucker bear, I suppose. After recording, I boosted them by about 3 dB to get them roughly at the same volume as the stock pickups. But yes, I thought that sounded gorgeous. That's about it, really. I'm out of things to say. Just go try them. They're great.